In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Before Salahuddin rose to power, the Muslim world was weak and divided. In the year 1099, Crusader armies attacked Jerusalem. They killed many people and took control of the city. Mosques were damaged, and the call to prayer stopped. This was a very painful time for Muslims. But the Crusaders were not strong because of their numbers alone. They won because Muslims were divided. Different rulers fought each other instead of working together. Each cared more about his own land than the Ummah. At that time, the Muslim world was split. Baghdad had the Abbasid Caliph, but little real power. Egypt was ruled by the weak Fatimid Caliphate. Syria was divided among rival leaders. Because of this division, Jerusalem stayed under Crusader control for many years. Birth of Salahuddin. Salahuddin was born in 1137 or 1138 in Tikrit. His family was Kurdish and not royal. On the night he was born, his family was forced to leave their home. From the beginning, Salahuddin knew hardship. As a young man, Salahuddin was not a warrior. He loved the Quran, knowledge, religion. He was quiet, humble, and serious. No one expected him to become a great leader, the man who prepared the way. At the same time, a ruler named Nur ad-Din was working to unite Muslims. He believed Jerusalem must be freed, but first, Muslims needed unity and faith. Nur ad-Din prepared the path that Salahuddin would later walk. The meaning of this time. Before Salahuddin, the Ummah was lost, divided, and waiting. Jerusalem was waiting. Unity was waiting. And Salahuddin was being prepared by Allah. Allah raises whom He wills. After Salahuddin became the ruler of Egypt, he did not rush toward Jerusalem. Many people expected him to attack the Crusaders immediately. But Salahuddin understood something very important. Jerusalem could not be freed unless the Muslim world was united first. At that time, the Muslim lands were still divided. Syria was ruled by different leaders. Some were loyal to Nur ad-Din's family. Some were afraid of Salahuddin's growing power. Some even worked secretly with the Crusaders. Salahuddin faced danger not only from enemies outside, but also from Muslims inside. When Nur ad-Din Zengi died in 1174, the Muslim world became unstable. Nur ad-Din's son was still young. Different leaders tried to take power. Salahuddin was accused of wanting to rule everything for himself. But Salahuddin did not declare war immediately. Instead, he acted carefully. He showed respect to Nur ad-Din's family. He avoided unnecessary bloodshed. He tried to unite lands through agreement, not force. His goal was not personal power. His goal was unity for the sake of Allah. Salahuddin lived a simple life. Even when he ruled Egypt and Syria, he owned little personal wealth. He gave money to the poor. He supported scholars and students. When he prayed, he cried. When he spoke of Jerusalem, he became serious and quiet. He often said that leadership was a heavy responsibility, not a gift. This fear of Allah made people trust him. Slowly, city by city, the Muslim lands came under his leadership, not by cruelty, but by justice. Salahuddin knew that fighting the Crusaders was not just about swords. It was about faith and discipline. He strengthened Islamic education, built madrasas, encouraged correct belief, Sunni Islam, reminded soldiers why they were fighting. He taught that jihad was not for land or wealth, but for protecting Islam and Muslim lives. Only after many years of preparation did Salahuddin finally turn his full attention to the Crusader kingdom. By 1187, the Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem had grown arrogant. Their leader, Reinald of Chatillon, attacked Muslim caravans. He even threatened to attack Mecca and Medina. This was a red line. Salahuddin declared jihad, not in anger, but as a duty. The march toward Hattin. Salahuddin gathered a large, united Muslim army. For the first time in decades, Egypt and Syria fought together. Different Muslim groups stood as one. Salahuddin did not rush into battle. He waited for the right moment. The Crusader army marched into dry land near Hattin, without water. Salahuddin surrounded them. The heat was extreme. The Crusaders were exhausted. Their strength collapsed. The Battle of Hattin, 1187. The Battle of Hattin changed history. The Crusader army was destroyed. King Guy was captured. Reynald of Chatillon was brought before Saladin. Saladin offered water to the king, a sign of mercy. But Reynald had broken treaties many times and spilled innocent blood. Saladin personally executed him, not out of anger, but out of justice. Saladin said, "I did not kill him as a king kills a king, but as justice kills a criminal," opening the road to Jerusalem. After Hattin, Crusader cities fell one by one. Muslim morale was high. The road to Jerusalem was open, but Saladin did not celebrate. His heart was focused on Al-Quds. The liberation of Jerusalem, 1187. When Saladin reached Jerusalem, the city feared massacre. They remembered what the Crusaders had done in 1099. But Saladin was not like them. After negotiations, Jerusalem surrendered. Saladin protected Christian civilians, allowed safe passage, respected holy places. There was no massacre. When Saladin entered Jerusalem, he cleaned Al-Aqsa. He restored Islamic worship. The Adhan returned after 88 years. He cried in sujud. Jerusalem was free, not through hatred, but through faith and mercy. Saladin and Richard the Lionheart. Soon after, the Third Crusade began. The most famous Crusader leader was Richard the Lionheart. Saladin and Richard fought many battles. But even in war, Saladin showed honor. He sent doctors when Richard was sick. He respected agreements. He avoided unnecessary killing. Even Christian historians admired Saladin. The death of Saladin. In 1193, Saladin fell ill. When he died, he left almost no money. His wealth had been given to the poor. The great sultan who ruled lands from Egypt to Syria did not even have enough for his own burial. This was his real victory. Why Saladin still matters. Saladin was not perfect, but he was sincere. He showed the world that power must be guided by faith. Strength must be balanced with mercy. Unity is stronger than division. Today, Saladin is remembered not only as a warrior, but as a just Muslim leader, a man who feared Allah, a man who freed Jerusalem, a man whose name still lives in history.